Gamexiu lets you build real-time 3D multiplayer games using Flash and web service APIs and publish them to social networks such as RenRen and Facebook. Normally, this kind of game development would require competency with 3D engines and real-time game servers. Gamexiu takes care of the low-level stuff for you and lets you focus on gameplay and user experience while using familiar tools for web game developers. Let's look at how a game is built using Gamexiu. I'll demonstrate with a very simple single-player typing game. I wrote this game using Flash CS5 and Flash Builder, and so far it's just a normal Flash game. Now I'm going to turn it into an avatar racing game in which I type words as fast as I can to make my avatar run towards a finish line. First, let's look at the context for this game. What we're looking at is a development version of Gamexiu.com, which you can think of as a sandbox social network for testing your games before launching on other sites, such as RenRen and Facebook. Gamexiu.com provides core social components, including profiles, friends, feeds, and photos, and core game components including avatars, places, items, and virtual currency, all of which are accessible through our APIs. Now we're looking at the existing Home 3D app, which you can access through the app menu on the left side. Home 3D was built in Flash and PHP and lets you decorate a virtual home for your avatar and visit other people's homes in chat. Now before I can add my word race game as a new app, I need to add a few lines of initialization code which will attach the UI to the screen. Now I've built it and it's ready to add. To add it to the sandbox environment, I'm going to use this form to upload an icon, the SWF file which contains the game logic and UI, and a simple racetrack scene that was created in 3ds Max and exported using a tool that we provide. Now you can see the Word Race app in the app menu below Home 3D. When I enter the app, I see the scene I uploaded and the Word Race UI overlay on top. The avatar is my own avatar, which belongs to my Gamexiu.com account, which is currently signed in. Right now I can still type words into the box just as I could when it was a standalone Flash app, but it has no relationship with the 3D scene or my avatar. I can still control my avatar and the camera manually, using the mouse and keyboard, but there's not much else. Now let's add some API calls to tie the word typing to my avatar's actions. First I want to wire up the Start button in the UI to make the avatar run to the starting point. I already have a blank function called Start Race, which I'm going to fill in with an API call to move the avatar. I'm going to use the entity.moveToAndLookAt method, which takes a target point to walk to, an animation to play on the way to the point, a point to look at after arriving, and an optional function to call after arriving, which I won't use in this case. Next I'm going to make the avatar run forward a few steps every time I successfully type a word. I'll add a function called MakeAvatarRun, which will be called whenever the text I entered matches the word prompt. In MakeAvatarRun, I'll use the moveToAndLookAt method again, this time giving relative walk and look targets based on the avatar's current position. Finally, I'll add a bit of logic to detect when the avatar has crossed the finish line, in which case we call the avatar.playAnimationById method, and I'll pass it a victory animation, which is part of the standard set of art assets we provide for apps to use. Now I'll go ahead and put in all the constants I used in the preceding code. Let's see it in action. First I'll make a small change to my Gamexiu config file to allow me to debug by running the SWF from my local machine. Now I've clicked Debug, and Flash Builder has launched the browser and is waiting to connect to the Flash process. Now I'm back in the Word Race app and it looks the same, but this time clicking the Start button takes my avatar to the starting line. Now when I finish typing words, the avatar indeed runs forward. And when I reach the end, he does the victory animation. Racing against yourself isn't much fun, so let's see what happens when another player launches my app. In the development sandbox, a multiplayer space is created by default for each app, and other players can join by simply going to the app's URL. In this example, I haven't written any server code, but you can see that all avatar actions are visible to all players in the room by default. We can still race against each other by starting at the same time, but for real multiplayer games, Gamexiu offers both a real-time game server plugin option and a lightweight web service-based option, which we'll cover in future demos. Thanks for watching.